Britannia. I love your seas and oceans. I love your seaside resorts. Southend-on-Sea is one of my favorites. The pleasure pier comforted my heart. I think it's quite an honor to be called the longest pleasure pier in the world, isn't it? Despite Sir John Batchman once saying the pier is Southend is the pier, I visited the town many times for many years, but didn't know about the pier. Maybe it sounds strange, but I didn't pay attention to it. I think this is because I am a little bit hedonistic. I live in the moment. If I see donuts and coffee, I take pleasure in the coffee and stop exploring the city. But last August, all that changed. I decided to walk along the promenade a little further than normal, past all cafes and fish and chip shops, and discovered the pier. The pier is 1.34 miles long, and it just blows my mind. Nowadays, you can walk from Southend back along the pier to the end, or you can travel the same road by train. On a sunny day, I like to walk both ways. But it's comforting to know I can get back by train if the weather decides it's not rained enough that day.
Thank you very much.
When you get to the end, you can very often see people fishing or drinking tea. 1.34 miles from shore. But in the early 19th century, the pier was designed for purely utilitarian significance. British seaside resorts became very trendy about 200 years ago, and Londoners came to Southend for this reason. But because the sea near Southend is never very deep, even at full tide, between 13 and 20 feet, and the tide recedes over the mile from the beach, large boats were unable to stop near to the beach, and no boats at all were able to stop at low tide. This meant that many potential visitors would go past Southend and on to Moorgate or other resorts where docking facilities were better. The pier had a difficult life. It faced lots of fire, collision, and was about to be closed. But the pier survived in the face of all difficulties. And for this, I love him even more. On great addition, at the very end of the pier is a pier pavilion. Sculptured by wind and wave, this is usually my favorite destination for a cup of tea or coffee and, of course, a donut. The pier decided the fate of the resort. And Sir John Batchman put it very succinctly. But Southend-on-Sea today is much more than just the pier. Sea Life Adventure Aquarium, an amusement park, a century-old funicular. It has a beautiful promenade and traditional seaside shops, as well as all the fish and chips, donuts, tea and coffee you could ever want. People flock here on a sunny day and at holiday times.